Thursday, June 27th. It is 8 p.m., and that means it is time for Stuck in Rotation with your host, as always, me, Ron Riley. And as you know, as always, the last Thursday of the month, we do our studio session series here. So originally we had Noise Beneath the Floor, and they couldn't make it, and then we had to fill in. And I still love all these bands. And Reese McHenry had an issue today, and weren't able to make it. So we have from Brian's Hill Band and from his own solo work, Blake Hollowell, Granville County's own.
Appreciate it. I'm glad I can be the backup to the backup.
Yeah, dude. You are, there goes my hero.
Thanks for having me up, Brian. Thank you.
No, thank you, dude. And Blake's a good friend of mine, and I've got to see them play, and I'm very excited that you get to be on the show, and you get to be, you're my hero, my backup.
That's right.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and get started with the questions.
All right.
All right. So, Blake, how did you get your start in music?
So I've been playing music. I don't even know how long I've been playing music. I can't remember. When I started, I was real young, played in church, and my mom played piano, my dad played bass, played a little guitar, and I would just get up on the drum, start beating. I actually started playing in services when I was about 6 or 7. So about 6 or 7, I guess, playing the drums, and then I got to the guitar and the keyboards and stuff like that when I was about 11 or 12. And then my harmonica, I got into that about 16, 17. So it's been a life journey.
Nice. So it sounds like it kind of it's a run in the family type deal,
Oh yeah.
Anybody is it like a lot of your family or just your parents?
So pretty much my parents, like my outside family, a little bit. We got a bass player here, guitar player there. My great grandmother's family out of Henderson, they played all the time. It was big old bluegrass. They'd go on the front porch and pick and grin and all that.
Big old jam
sessions back in the day.
Nice.
But that's way back when. So it's probably where that comes from.
So I kind of grew up somewhat similar. I don't play or anything, but growing up, I had family members people that were married into the family that were musicians. So on a Saturday, just have a big old party out of nowhere, and it'd be oh, here's a band, and then they would play and stuff like that. Growing up, around this area and stuff like that. As a little kid, you're that's cool.
Just happens, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people out here play, man. A lot of people in the Oxford area.
Yeah, and it's good to see. I'm hoping Oxford becomes a big music spot here in the next couple years. So you just recently joined Brian's Hill Band. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I've known those guys for a little bit. Met them just doing the whole music scene through Granville County, and I got up. It was one night I was opening with a friend of mine, Stephanie Perry, and we didn't open up. Sorry, there was Michael Bryan's birthday bash over at the Orpheum.
Oh yeah.
And we played a set in the middle.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, just me and Stephanie. They have their whole big band out there, and it's just me playing guitar, Stephanie singing. She plays a little bit. And then the last song we did was Pride and Joy. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's that's a big jam for two people to do. So I'm getting on the guitar, and she's playing the guitar, and I get my harmonica out and start playing. Before I know it, Justin Allen, one of the sickest guitar players I know, man, gets up and just starts ripping. I'm like, okay, cool. Then John gets up on the drums. Then old Wes gets up on the bass. Then Michael gets up, and everyone starts singing and playing. And we just turned into this whole big band jam. And ever since then, I've kind of flirted with playing with them a little bit, here and there. And they wanted some keys. They want a little bit of harmonica, and I'm singing some backup with them. So I'm going to hang out with them for a little bit on the side.
I think you were a very good addition to the band. Kind of it completed the band, sort of.
Yeah.
I remember that night, vaguely.
Vaguely, yeah.
Maybe I remember that part. Later on that night at Michael's house was a little bit different. But, I remember being y'all were playing, and then, they just started jumping up, and I'm it was epic. Dude, that was such a great, just random, just out of nowhere jam session.
We didn't practice that.
It
one of them things.
Killed it. Everybody just killed it, did their part. What inspires your songwriting and the process behind it?
So that's an interesting question because it's different things at different times. I've been writing songs for, I'm probably 11 or 12 years, really writing songs, and I feel like the stuff that I wrote 10 years ago really don't reflect where I'm at now. Yeah. Some of the wording just ain't right, and I'm going to revisit those and kind of go back. I'm not recording any of that stuff, so it's okay. You can go back and revise and redo. But here in the last probably 2 years or so, I've written some songs that really just tell where I'm at in my life now, and really tells the story of who I am. And you know, not like that matters to anyone out there, but
Yeah.
I'm just an average guy with a story to tell, and I feel like average people want to listen. So
Yeah, and I think we privately talked about this before. 10 years ago, you're still kind of a kid.
oh, dude, I was 21 years,
Yeah.
10 years ago.
That's
Yeah.
still a kid.
Yeah.
That's a totally different person.
Didn't really live much life, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't come from anything crazy. So now the 10 years after that, yeah, I've lived some since then. Found out a few things.
Yeah. So what's the first song you'll be playing for us?
So the first song is called "Something to Say," and this is just kind of back to your roots kind of song. Just remembering where you grew up, what you tried, what didn't work, what might work later. So.
All right.
Heroes fall, and then your arm is stripped away. The man you thought you were is just like moonlight in the day. When the facade's gone and the whole world is your stage, don't you sing them songs unless you got something to say. Something to say. They say only the good die young. I just don't believe that is true. 'Cause I met a man in Kinley who drove trucks for all his life, for his family's food, to buy his family's food. And I've tried to go back where I came from, and I tried to find what I remember to be good, and I don't know if they lied to me, or if I didn't try to find the truth, didn't try to find the truth. When your heroes fall and your arm is stripped away, the man you thought you were is just like moonlight in the day. When the facade's gone and the whole world is your stage, don't you sing them songs unless you got something to say. Oh, something to say. Traveled all around looking for something, someone who could try to ease this pain. I thought that I had found that several different times, but I forgot their names. What was their name? And I thought it was that job in my hometown. Oh, the blue eyes that I met in Mexico. I had it rough in Nashville, and I ain't lost nothing in Ohio. There's nothing in Ohio. When your heroes fall, then your arm is stripped away. The man you thought you were is just like moonlight in the day. When the facade's gone and the whole world is your stage, don't you sing them songs unless you got something to say. Something to say. You got something to say. Is there anything left to say? You got something to say. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Dude, I am sweating so bad over here. It's hot. Yeah.
Picked the hottest week for me to come on,
Yeah, I
Ron.
know. Hey, I had to bring the heat.
We ain't got a drummer in here, so but
But don't. All right. So, Blake, what made you want to become a musician?
So, we're talking about this like it's my full-time thing. I wish it was, but it's kind of my side gig. But I do play a lot, I try to play a couple gigs a month, and it turns into a lot of gigs a month. So it's one of those things, I have a passion for it. But the thing that really made me want to do it was probably, and I was in high school, all right? And I was in the band, I played trumpet in the band. And I kind of got accidentally put in choir in my 10th grade year. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was an accident. And dude, I did not want to be there. Did not want to be there. Good friend of mine, Casey, she fought me on it, and I fought her on it. I didn't want to be there, and she wanted me there, and blah, 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 blah. Well, anyways, long story short, I ended up liking it after about, 4 or 5 months. Found out that I liked singing. And I've not looked back since, man. I've been singing and playing ever since. I played forever, but like the singing part, the kind of artist part of it, I guess, kind of came around my 10th, 11th grade year. I mean,
You were like, this is like something that I want to pursue.
something I want to do.
Yeah. Which we talked about this before, and you went to school with my sister and her at the time boyfriend, Andy, and I knew him for like a half a year while they dated, and never knew that he was like this insanely good guitar player.
Dude was sick, man.
Yeah.
Fluffy, man. He just fluff it up on the guitar.
Like he came over to I was living at this house, and my now wife had just moved in, and he's like I play guitar, and he starts playing like the band Brand New. He's playing like stuff off their second album, like just like perfect. I'm like, dude, I've known you for like 6-7 months, and you didn't tell me any of this.
Nothing. Yeah. He was very light. He was very hush hush about it.
Yeah, he was.
Because I didn't know either. I mean, I knew the guy for like a year and a half. It was like, he was in the band room one day, like in the back room, just shredding. I go in there, I'm like, hey man, like, who's that? And he's like, oh, it's just me. And I'm like, dude, it ain't no just you. That's awesome. Like,
Yeah,
that's just cool. That's what it is.
Like blew my mind. I was like,
I wish I could shred like that.
yeah, same here. He tried to teach me how. I just couldn't get it. I know where my place is in music, so it's more behind the scenes.
Hey man, me too. Me too.
Yeah. Everybody's got their place.
I'm not a shredder, dude. I'm not a shredder.
What sets you apart from other artists in your genre?
Now that's a difficult question, because I mean, I don't have anything recorded. Not really recorded. You can go find my videos and stuff out there and a little bit, but nothing recorded. So when I think about artists that do what I do, I really don't consider myself country per se. I mean, most people do. And when I do covers, I do a lot of older country covers.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in that Americana kind of genre. That's kind of where I like to sit. And as far as setting apart, I think the cool thing about most of the artists in that genre is that they just sing about their lives. Kind of like I was talking about earlier. When you sing about the stuff you experience, my experience isn't like anyone else's.
Yeah.
Their experience isn't like mine. So you're going to get a different flavor of someone else's experience in every song you hear in the Americana genre. Like, so when I take inspiration from Jason Isbell, one of the most phenomenal songwriters ever. Definitely of our generation, probably ever. Now, I don't compare myself to Jason Isbell, but like Townes Van Zandt, people like that, they just write life. They write what they experience, and that's what I try to do. So, not saying I'm better than anybody else in my genre, but what sets me apart is my experiences.
Yeah. Americana is like, the way I look at it, it's more of the real country. Because now, if you say country music, people are like, what's that stupid song, like Date Night at Applebee's or something, like,
Now Applebee's is they're closing all their stores.
Yeah, that's right. That song actually probably put them out of business.
It gave them a little bump for a little bit, and I guess people got tired of it.
That song is horrible. That's not real country music. It's like pop with a country twang and a hip hop beat. Like stuff like Brian Sylvan, like American Aquarium. That's like real country. Oh, and speaking of Jason Isbell, did you know Ryan? So you know who Ryan Adams is, right?
Yeah.
So he played Raleigh for like the first time in 20 years, which I was surprised because he got ran out of Raleigh. So did you hear about the whole debacle of him in concert?
No.
So apparently, I guess Homeboy was drinking, and the whole concert, all he did was just talk trash about Jason Isabel.
Man, I'm glad I won't there. I would have ran him back out of Raleigh, man.
You need to go look it up. Like, I was reading about it. I was like,
I'm trying to be mad.
I was like, this is not surprising because it's Ryan Adams and he's problematic. And
Right.
I was like, he got ran out of Raleigh like, 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
This is the first time he's played in Raleigh since then. And I'm surprised like he came back. And of course, when he comes back, since this is a family-friendly show, I can't say what I want to say, but he showed his tail.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So
My mama used to say that.
yeah, that's an old Southern
She,
saying.
she still says that.
You're showing your tail. And I just got a text, so make sure I shout out to my wife Laura and my children Luna and Cannon. Hey guys, shout out. Woo woo. So she was like, "Don't forget my shout out."
Don't forget the knife, Ryan. Don't do that.
I don't know if Luna deserves one the way she's been acting this past week. Dude, she's been giving me a time. As a musician and as an artist, what are some of the challenges that you face? Some of the hardest challenges that you face?
So you're talking about like writing or
Just
playing or just in general?
In general, as an artist, yeah.
Man, finding the time, dude. I have a wife, 2 kids, man. You know, at the house, and trying to find the time to play out, trying to find the time to write my music, trying to find the time to record my music like I want to.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is just trying to find the time. And it's great that I have this kind of outlet where I can do this, and I have a good following. I have a lot of people who will book me, you know, and I have a lot of people I play with. But finding the time and having that family balance, that is the toughest thing I find. So, and that's something that I keep working on and keep working on. So
Yeah, and I understand, especially with you being a Brian Soul band, there's everybody in that band.
it's a dad band
It's a dad band, yeah.
Yeah, we're all
and,
dads.
and it's more than one child. So
for everybody.
For everybody, yeah.
Everybody.
Justin's the winner with 3,
Heck
and
yeah.
I think everybody else is at 2.
Like 2, yeah.
Yeah, leveled out at 2. And then you got Matt, the sound guy. He doesn't have any, so he's good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt.
What's up,
Holder.
man? Yeah, he keeps us sounding good.
Yeah, he does. I was at his house last night. Did he tell you what he got for free? That PA system?
Oh, I heard about that. I hadn't seen the
I
PA
saw
system.
it, dude. He was like, anybody wants to buy it? And I was like, I think I might. So I was like, give me a price, and somebody might be buying it. I'm pointing to over it. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, I was like, how much you pay for this? He was like, nothing. And I'm like,
So I wouldn't have offered that information.
yeah.
I know y'all are tight, but I would have been like, hey, man,
Yeah.
I paid like $100.
Yeah.
You know, I give it to you for $100.
He's like, I'm gonna look at the price and let it go for like, cheaper. But he's like, I would make a little bit off of it. He was like, but,
Cheapish.
yeah. All right. So let's get into another song. What's your next song, Blake?
This one's called 12 a.m. It's a downer, man. It's a downer. That's all right. You need some of those sometimes.
Yeah. You gotta even say everything out.
That's right. That's right. This one's really about. It's not really about any specific event, but a bunch of separate events. I've lost a lot of people in my life, whether it be family members or friends, people I went to high school with, people I went to college with, people I've worked with even.
Yeah.
So this song's kind of a culmination of a lot of that. So hope y'all enjoy it. It's 12 a.m. It's 12 a.m. again. I feel your ghost in the room. I've been a better friend. Would you be alright? 'Cause words can't heal all wounds. You're living proof of that. But I'd try anyway if I could turn back time. Sometimes the bear's too tough to fight. Sometimes the mountain's too hard to climb. It's 2 a.m. again. I hear your footsteps go. I know it isn't real. Makes me feel alright. And I can see your faded grin. The last last one I saw you wear before the bitter end? Was your smile just a lie? Sometimes the bear's too tough to fight. Sometimes the mountain's too tall to climb. Again, as the spirits wear off, I still feel your spirit here, and I'm barely fine. As I get up and go to work, wonder if it worked out for you. Wherever you ended up, hope you're alright. Every day I get up and I still fight. I stare up the mountain and I still climb. I see you still. I try but I won't ever heal. Thank you, I appreciate it.
I can't read this first word. Oh, all right. So I just wanted to announce that next month we'll be in a new and improved setting in the same place. But in a shout out and big shout out to She Chose Down and Oxford Music.
That's good coffee, good cherry limeade.
Oh yeah,
they're my heroes.
Yes.
I might be your hero. They're my hero.
That cherry limeade is just amazing. And I guess I'll go ahead and plug this while we're here. So August 17th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Next Door Music Festival. Info will be coming out soon. We've got 6 awesome bands. It's for charity, free admission. We'll have food trucks, vendors, and myself, Curtis Pugh of She Chose Down, and Trey Snide, one of my other bosses for Next Door Radio. We put this little event together, and we think it's going to be amazing. And I don't know about the other two. I'm a little nervous, but also excited at the same time. So, and and shout out to Trey and shout out to Curtis for giving me the opportunity to book these bands and be a part of this. And I'm excited. All right. So, what musicians and bands inspire you?
I got a big old list, but I know I've already talked about Jason Isbell. As far as the lyricism of that guy, man, it just, his words cut deep, and I try to take inspiration from that. I should say that I take inspiration from that. Willie, Waylon, and the boys. You got to shout them out.
Like a little bit of Conway.
A little bit of Conway. Hello, dog. Now don't get too riled up over there.
That's one of my favorites.
All right, settle down.
Curtis over here, the Johnny Cash.
I love some Johnny Cash, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it tonight because I'm doing my original stuff. But if you ever hear my version of Folsom Prison Blues, I pull the harmonica out and do the whole train thing, and it's a good time. So definitely Johnny Cash. Love some Cash.
That did you ever watch? Which I'm sure you did. The Isabel documentary that came out last year.
Yeah.
Dude, I got a little teary eyed during that.
And knowing what we know now.
Yeah, that was even.
Jason and Amanda. You watch it now, it takes on a whole new, well, not a whole new meaning, but a more in depth. It's like, man, they was going through it.
You could kind of watching it, you kind of got that feeling and stuff. That's what I was like, man, it kind of hit hard. And then afterwards, but the cool thing is like he still goes out if they're playing in the same city. they'll play together on stage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like not the same concert, but he'll show up and or she'll show up and they'll play together and stuff.
She opened for him at Red Rocks a couple months ago and
Yep.
another show as well.
Yep.
And I mean, of course, that's contractual, but at the same time,
It's like they're still friends and stuff.
And in the documentary, they even say there's a song. Amanda Shires is another one of those that just writes fantastic music.
Yes.
And she actually played with Billy Joe Schaefer for a long time, playing the fiddle. And he's the one that told her to go to Nashville and put her stuff out there. And she ended up meeting Jason. But anyway, I digress. I love them guys. But she had a song called Empty Cups that's just literally about their relationship.
Yeah.
And Jason, heard the song and stuff, and she won't put it on the album. And he said, no, you got to put it on the album. It's real life. It's what we're going through. And that song needs to be on this album.
Exactly.
Even though I didn't put him in the best light. So I commend him for doing that, even if they're not together anymore.
He's human. We're all human. So, and he gets that,
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't about, making me start making money. Like, we want to keep it real.
That's right.
Let's see. What's some of your favorite songs that you like to play by other artists?
Man, I got a whole list. I like doing Folsom Prison Blues. Simple Man by Leonard Skinner, that's one of my favorite ones to do. I got a song on my mind. Here I am on the road again. Here I am.
Oh, Turn the Page.
Turn the Page.
Bob Seger.
Love Bob Seger, Turn the Page.
Yeah.
I love playing Tyler Childers songs, man. That cat, It's got some good stuff.
Yeah,
my boy Q, shout out Q up in the house. He likes them too. Doing like Feathered Indians and White House Road. Love that stuff, man. Sturgill Simpson, Long White Line.
Yes.
Oh man, I gotta have a full band for that one.
Which Brian's little band does.
Yeah, but I don't get to sing it. I just get to fiddle on the keys in the back. I don't get to sing it.
Still part of it though.
Still part of it. It's all right. But
I'm there.
When I'm the front man of the band, I like doing that one. So.
What about your own personal song? Like, what's your favorite personal song to play?
Favorite of mine or favorite overall?
Of yours.
Favorite of mine.
Yes.
Man, that's hard. That's a hard one. So I have fun playing all of them. No one's actually ever asked me. That's a good man, Ron. I didn't think you were gonna stump me tonight. You stumped me.
I get every guest. I always get them.
Get everyone with one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably this next one I'm gonna do in a minute. It's called "If I Don't End Up with You." There's this. You'll hear the melodic line that I kind of wrote at the beginning for the guitar. That I've never written anything that great on the guitar. I don't think, and it's something that kind of every time I play it, I still get giddy when I play that little riff.
Good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, that sounds good.
It surprises you.
I'm like, how did I find this? It was an accident.
Well, speaking of, I think that makes a good segue.
All right, well,
Let's do it.
let's seg it in there. This one's called "If I Don't End Up With You." Cutting up as time went by. I love the music that we'd make as we'd stumble around the room, getting dressed, making coffee, and the smell of your perfume. Started fighting and you said we could be friends. That don't always work the way you think it will. Before I knew it, you've been gone for months. I was left with all the guilt. Where did they go? Where did the good times go? Where did they go? did they go? Did the good times go? Where did they go? Did the good times go? I thought you were the ending, and I thought you were the line I've been searching for. I can't seem to find any good reason or any point of view. I don't end up with you. Any good reason or any point of view. I don't end up with you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, give me 1 second. I'm gonna pop this beer open.
Yeah, man, just, yeah, go ahead. You got time to, you good. You good.
Excuse me. So far in your music career, what's been your favorite moment as a musician?
Man, that's a hard one too, because I've played a lot of places, I've done a lot of things. I think one of the first times I got on stage with the harmonica, man, I think it was one of my favorite times ever, because I wasn't that great at the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty good now, but I wasn't that great at the time. And people just went nuts. They thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I got up there, and I know some really good harmonica players. I've been around them. I grew up with one. That's how I got into it. And I was like, man, if y'all gonna cheer like this, I'll come and play bad harmonica any gig you want me to.
Yeah.
Kind of one of them things. But something just connected, And I got to. That's something that I do different than a lot of people. Not a lot of folks play the harmonica the way that I do, especially around here.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
What has been the the best or the most favorite show that you have played? Solo or band? Or both?
Or both. I've never played solo. Well, I have done that. I have played solo and in a band at the same gig. That was tough, though. I opened up for the band, then I played in the band. That was nuts. Yeah, it was a small show, man. A small show. Man, thinking about some of the stuff I played, I played this one gig at Creedmoor Market down there in South Granville County. It wasn't even nowhere crazy big. I played some bigger spots, but man, I had a packed house. Those people came for me. This is kind of a crowd I built up over a long time.
That's a smaller space than this.
And that's a small space, man. I had over 100 people at that gig, in that small place. I mean, I've had more people at other gigs, but for 100 people, maybe a little bit more to show up to that spot for a show. Middle of nowhere. And dude, I played songs that I wanted to play. I played songs that I'd written. I played songs they requested, and I just had a good time. I mean, I was talking. I mean, it was just like me being at the house on the porch, hanging out, playing guitar, and saw some friends of mine, just hang out, went and talked to them, people I knew from the spot that I've been playing, and talked to them, and just go back and forth. And there's these guys there that wanted to hear Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash, right? And they come in, it's like, I said, man, I don't know if I can do it. I didn't bring my trumpet with me, I can't do it. But I got up there and I did it anyways. So, I get on there.
Hey,
trying to do something for them. They love it.
Yeah.
But to be confident enough to do goofy stuff like that and to play in front of those people and to just be myself, man.
Yeah.
And that was one of my favorite shows ever that I can think of, just off the top of my head.
Oh, and I meant to ask you this before, last time we hung out. So Brian's Hill Band played at the Balloon Fest in Lewisburg. Like, how did that go?
That was a good time.
Yeah.
That was a good time. I got to hang back and just play some keys, play a little harmonica, sing some backup. But, you know, I haven't ever really played keys like that with a band. I've played solo. I mean, I played in church and stuff. That's a little different. But I've never actually played out with a band on the keys.
Yeah.
This keyboard, piano, whatever people want to call it. And I got to just kind of stretch my
Just went all the way.
went all over the keyboard,
Yeah.
man. I was just all up and down that thing, and there were some songs where I was the main part, you know, and I do that, but I got to just sit back there and kind of feel it, just to kind of just the icing. I got to be the ice on the cake, which is always fun. Just to hang back and let them do all the work, and I just come in and sound cool. And it was like, man, that keyboard player's really good. And I'm like, man, I ain't doing anything. I'm just back here twiddling around.
You're like, I'm just winging it.
I'm just winging it. Yeah.
I heard a lot of good things about the band.
They're great guys, man.
Just from that show. I mean, of course, I know you guys are awesome and stuff. But like, I had people come to me like, oh yeah, we were there. They were great. They got this new keyboard player, and I'm like, yeah, I know. He's a friend of mine. And they were like, oh, he was awesome. And I'm like, well, I was like, that was really good to hear that, you know, that y'all like killed it there.
Yeah.
That's funny because there's another band that played there. I'm gonna redact the name of the band.
Oh man.
But when I used to book for a certain venue in Oxford, that I will also keep redacted.
The down the street place.
Yeah, down the street. Yeah, with
the down the street place.
Red lights. So I like this guy was like, yeah, book my band, and I'm like, all right. I was gonna get limited of what I could book, so I booked him, and somebody gave me a hint. They were like, yo, this dude, the lead singer, guitarist. He, I can't say what they said on about him. They were like, he's not a nice person, and like he comes off a certain way. And I'm like, okay, so I booked the band.
It's good censor.
And my friend, who's here, was right, and they came off a certain way, and I was like, I'm never booking this band again. So they kept on hitting me up while I was working at booking for a certain place. Hey, and I'm like, I'm not really interested in booking right now. I'm not really interested in booking right now.
Try to be nice to him, man.
Yeah, and it finally
spare feelings.
And it finally got to a point where I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna book you. And then they were like, why? And I was like, because I don't like your music. And I was like, I don't think you're good.
And people didn't like your music there either.
And then, which it did bother me. I got unfriended on Facebook.
Man, this happened.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, yeah.
It's alright, bro. I get unfriended all the time. People don't like me neither.
But it was funny because I was like, take a hint, and I was like, had to be blunt about it.
It's alright.
And then I saw they were playing the festival with y'all, and I was like, I was joking around with Justin, telling him about it. And he was like, man. I was like, he's not. I was like, they're not. I was like, well, actually, the bassist for the band, super nice dude. He's cool. Shout out to him. Nothing against him. But
yeah, he probably don't talk to the rest of the band ever. He just shows up and plays bass.
But the lead singer guitarist was. I was.
Glad y'all ain't here live. Glad y'all ain't here live. We just heard some words.
Alright. So, as a musician, what would be some of your biggest strengths, and what are some of your biggest weaknesses that you think you personally need to focus on?
So, biggest strengths. I'm going to start with those because I know those off the top of my head. I've got good rhythm. I've always had good rhythm. Played drums since I was a kid. I've got this little pedal. I don't know if y'all see me on the camera. If you're just listening to me, I've got this little pedal down here that I use when I'm playing by myself, so that when I play alone, it don't sound so empty. Like, you know, just playing. Some dude singing with the guitar. You know, you see it going down the street. You're like, okay, it's another guy with a guitar. Well, when I use this little pedal, it records what I do when I step on it, and then when I step on it again, it plays it back. So what I do is play like the chorus or something of a song, hit that little pedal, get all funky with it, hit it again, then I can solo all over it.
Yeah.
Whether it's the harmonica or the guitar or whatever. And just being able to kind of multitask that and I think my versatility, being able to play different instruments, is definitely a strength. My weaknesses, though, man, I can't remember words for nothing. I'm really bad. I've got so many songs in my head at one time, and I play with so many different people that sometimes I just blank on words. Sometimes chords, not usually chords, but mostly words. And you'll hear me just sing some crazy stuff sometimes. Because if I don't know the words, I ain't gonna stop singing. I'll just make up the words.
Yeah.
So
you're like, is that a different version? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I've never heard this version. And when you're singing your own songs, if you forget your words, which I usually don't on my own songs.
Yeah.
It's usually like covers. But if I forget the words on covers, they're usually like, that, someone inevitably will come up like, man, that's not how that song goes. And I'm like, that's okay. Next time you get up and play it.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to pick on Michael Bryan a little bit because I'm gonna say you're doing a little bit better than he is, because you're like, on top of your head. Usually he's got his little like pad thing. Like,
yeah, I mean, I got myself.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, never mind. Then I didn't know it was over there.
But that's really just to tell me what song I'm doing next.
Oh, okay, that's different. No, I see Michael Bryan playing. He'd be like, scroll.
Yeah. Oh,
scroll.
Yeah. He makes it obvious. They make this little pedal. I need to tell Michael about it. If you're watching, Michael, this is for you. They made this little pedal where it turns the page on whatever you're using. So I got a buddy of mine I play with. He's the same way. He plays with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And he'll hit that little thing and it'll turn the pages for him.
Okay.
It's like, man, he ain't got to scroll. He ain't got to find it. Just be playing and find a time to like swipe.
Be like.
So I'll tell you, sometimes, man, y'all see me play every once in a while. You'll see me kind of prolong something and swipe. I'm never going to be off, but you're going to hear a space sometimes.
No, we love Michael, so we had to pick on him a little bit.
He's amazing, man. He's a good guy. I really appreciate those guys.
Yeah.
Let me come and play. They're a little bit older than I am, a little different stage of life. Everyone's kid's a little bit older than mine, and they've been through a little bit more than I have. But they're very welcoming, just cool guys, man.
Well, if it means anything, like way before they were talking about putting you in the band, I was like, dude, it was open mic night at Wilton Pizzeria, and I was like, you guys should like hook up with Blake and like have him come on do like some harmonica or keyboards. I was like, I feel like he would add a little bit of extra to the band, a little pop to the band, not like pop music, but a little pop,
Yeah.
like to the band.
And I played a little bit before I was in the band. I'd come and play a harmonica solo here, something a little bit there, but that's about it. And then we got together a little bit more officially. I'd never do a guitar solo in that band.
Oh yeah,
Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want to pick up a guitar, acoustic or electric, otherwise, because of Justin. That man is.
He is.
He's a bad dude, man. He's a bad dude.
I met him when I was 11, but like I moved away and I came back, and then he remembered who I was, and I was like 15, and he was like, he'd gotten to where he knew what he was doing at that point, but we were still kids.
Oh yeah.
So he still had a lot to learn, but even at that age, he was really, really, really good for what he was doing at that age.
Yeah.
What drives your passion as a musician?
Man, it's just the music. There's something about the music. When I hear the notes, when I hear the chords, something just riles up in me. And anytime I hear someone playing music, I want to play. Anytime I hear music on the radio, I want to play. Anytime I'm sitting alone and I just get this little beat in my head, I want to, a lot of my songwriting comes from me going down the road and thinking of stuff. And, I hope my parents aren't watching or listening, because my mom freak out, man. She'll call me after this if she's listening. And I've got this it's a phone thing. It's a little phone rack, so I'm not like texting, driving or nothing, but I'll hit my camera thing real quick, hit my record, and record what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I don't forget it, because if you get too long after that, man, I might forget. I've done it before, man. Great songs have been lost.
Kind of like a virtual notepad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just record the melody of what I'm, sing a little lyrics, or just the melody, or just the lyrics, something.
Humming or whatever.
Something, just so I can come back to it.
Yeah.
And revisit it and try to work on it and make it a song eventually.
Yeah.
So.
What lessons have you gained in your experience as a musician?
Man, don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself short, because everybody's a musician almost. Like, I go out and I see a ton of people that are just like, man, I play and I do. Not trying to say that I'm better than anyone else or anything, but they're musicians, but they're not really into it. They're not really doing it. And they'll go and they'll make $500, and I'll go somewhere and I'll play that same place for like $200, and I'll be like, man, I got messed up on that one. Don't sell yourself short. If you I feel like if you're good enough, you're good enough to do it.
Yeah.
If you have that passion, you have that drive, So.
Okay. So I see you got a harmonica case over there.
I sure do.
I got a little text message. Can we get a song with a harmonica in it?
No, dude. I literally just brought this for show. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get some. Yeah, well, we'll get some. I got my last song's got some harp in. I saved my best harp stuff for last.
Okay.
My harp stuff for last.
What do you want and what do you hope people take from your music?
So I hope people take my music, and for one, want to re-listen. That's cool. If you like my music and you want to re-listen to it, because I mean, you know, you're re-listening to Taylor Swift and Garth Brooks and all them people. If you like the music, you'll re-listen to it. So first and foremost, I hope you like what I'm doing. I hope you like the sounds. I hope you like the chords and the melodies and all that. But other than that, I hope you like the message too. I mean, I hope you vibe with what I'm vibing with. Yeah, just real life. If I'm singing about it and you don't care for it, that's fine. But I hope you do. I want people to get into what I'm saying.
What are some sacrifices that you have had to make as a musician and as well? Let me rephrase that. What kind of sacrifices have you had to make being a musician, a parent, and and as a full-time worker and full-time musician?
So I mean, mainly it's just time with your family, which is something you'll never get back.
Yeah.
You know, and I do sacrifice that time sometimes. And, you know, luckily I do have a family that does support what I do. You know, I'm here tonight. My wife's home with the kids. She's so cool about it. And when they can, they come out and listen to me play. I mean, my kids love to come hear me play. My son was literally, if y'all were here before the show started, my kid was literally in here crying because he couldn't stay to hear his dad play music. And that's something that hopefully I'm instilling a little bit of music in them too.
Yeah.
You know, so hopefully the sacrifices for me to play, you know, of course I usually make a little money when I play, and that goes a long way, of course. But
not tonight.
Not tonight. No, I mean, this is for publicity. There goes my hero. You're very welcome, Ron.
Watch your go.
No, but you know, I do get a little kickback most of the time. For my sacrifices, I do get something in return. That's the enjoyment of playing my music.
Exactly.
Like tonight.
Yeah.
It's the money here and there. Mostly the money here and there. But also, hopefully, it's instilling something in my kids, and they want to get into music and they want to play. And, you know, I'm not saying it's always been the best thing for me playing. You know, you get into some stuff sometimes and some sticky situations.
Yeah.
But on the whole, it's been a good experience.
Yeah, he was even helping with load in. He was like, I got it. I got it. Dude, he was like,
oh, he's manhandling them harmonicas right here. He carried them suckers all the way from the Tobacco Wood parking lot. So.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, man, he was killing it.
He's like, what, two and a half?
He's
three? He's three?
Yeah.
I was like, he was like powerhouse in that thing. I was like,
that thing ain't, I mean, it's light for me, but
yeah.
There's like 25 harmonicas in there.
Dude, that thing probably weighs like the same weight that he weighs.
Well, yeah, I was going to say my harmonicas are heavier than most people's because I change out the combs. I do a lot of customizations. That's a whole
cool.
other show, Ron. It's a whole other show. I can't even talk about that right now.
Be like, I still got like, I was like, we covered that in like 2 minutes.
No, man, I need at least 15. That's just the basics. No, I'm just kidding.
What do you think, what's one of the greatest lessons that you've learned so far?
All right. I thought there was more. I don't know. He just stopped, and I was like, I felt like there was more to the question. But one of the biggest lessons I've learned is to keep progressing, keep getting better, because there's always going to be someone better than you are, first and foremost. And you always got to keep going, keep writing better lyrics, keep getting better harmonica licks or guitar licks, better melodies, better songs, newer songs, different songs. Always progress. Don't ever do the same act. Every time you go out, don't do the same 15 songs you've always done. Don't do them the same way you've always done them. Shake it up.
Keep it new and fresh.
Keep it fresh, yeah. Because if not, I went through a period of time where I had probably 2 months of gigs booked in front of me, and I just didn't want to play them. I didn't have time to learn new stuff. I just didn't care, and that was some of the worst times of my life playing music. Was just feeling like I had to because I agreed to play music, and I just didn't care about playing. So you always got to shake it up.
Yeah. You're just like, man, I'm here. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And you know, that's, you know, you never want to get to you never want to get up to a point as a musician like where it's always like that. You know, some people get like that. They're just
It's like a job, man.
Yeah.
Just like a job.
And like a job, if you're having fun, you never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
Is there anything that you regret that you maybe missed out on or wish you could have done as a musician?
Yeah. I wish I would have recorded my stuff earlier. I wish I would have got into kind of getting my music down before now, because I still, like I said, I still don't have anything on recording, but
Yeah.
it's changing here in the next month or so. I'm going to start recording, still picking out some stuff and getting all that settled. But I'm actually taking a little bit of a step back from playing live just so I can record an album, or an EP rather.
Yeah.
Get some of my songs out there. But I would have recorded stuff earlier for sure.
So, I was going to ask, Brian Sylvan, do they have social media?
Yeah, they got some Instagrams.
Instagrams, Facebook?
I don't know about Facebook. I know they got Instagram. I don't know
Since you're
what
a
it
part of that. So I know you don't have any for your solo stuff, so.
is. I do.
You do? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Blake Hollowell Music. If you look up Blake
plug that.
Hollowell Music on Facebook, you look up Blake Hollowell Music on TikTok. Blake Hollowell is not a very popular name, so look up Blake Hollowell Music. I will probably pop up. But TikTok and Facebook is mostly where I post my stuff. I've got an Instagram. Now I'm not much for the gram. I try to post on there when I can.
So this will be the last question before we lead us out with that last song.
All right.
Any advice for upcoming musicians?
It's a long song.
Do you have any advice for upcoming musicians?
Man, if I had any advice for upcoming musicians, learn your sound. Learn your sound, because there's a lot of young musicians out there that I've taught, because I teach too. I don't have any students right now, but I've taught music in the past. You got to learn your sound. Find out who you are. When you're 17, 18 years old, play music and stuff. I'm not saying don't play, don't do, but grow with it. You got to let it grow with you. You're not going to be the best out the gate. You're probably not going to sound the best out the gate. So learn your sound. Learn what you want to sound like. Listen to those artists that inspire you, and try to emulate their sound a little bit. Don't copy them, but try to emulate their sound. Try to be inspired by their sound. That's a different thing, to copy someone and to be inspired. Like, I'm inspired by Johnny Cash to do Folsom Prison Blues. It kind of sounds like Johnny, but it ain't Johnny when I do it.
Yeah.
You got anyone who's heard me do that knows. So be inspired, but don't copy anybody. Don't try to be like anyone else. Don't compare yourself to anyone else either. That's a big thing, because I know musicians that aren't that great, in my opinion. It's just my opinion, that are just out there and they think they're the best thing ever.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree 100%.
It's a musician comp, and I hate it. I can't stand it. That's why I vibe with the Brian Seal guys so good. There's no ego. We come in and we do the work. We enjoy doing it.
Have fun.
And have fun and play. If that's not your goal, if I have to come up to you and I talk to you and you act like your crap don't stink, then I probably don't. We're probably not going to be lifelong friends.
No, we ain't vibing.
No.
All right. Well, what's our last song for the show?
So this last song is called "The Ghost." It's about struggle. Struggling could be with anything: alcohol, drugs, money, time, your job, anything you struggle with. So I hope y'all enjoy this one. This one's "The Ghost." Try my best to be a better man. All I can to improve myself. It's been a long road. There's an empty spot upon my back. Monkey used to swing and drink a six-pack. Sometimes he visits me again. As time goes on, resisting gets easier, the thirst gets stronger. World's on fire, it needs something familiar, needs something harder. And I can still feel the ghost hanging on. There's a part of me that's never gone. my soul. And I just need to learn how to let go. But I want you to know that the ghost is never really gone. No, the ghost is never really gone. I had to slow it down, get perspective back. To round up, have a heart attack. No, that just won't do. When you see the blue lights coming after you, wonder if you pass, but you never do. DUIs ain't worth it. More mistakes you make, the harder it is to get out of the hole. So you get your head on straight. It's hard to resist, but you can hang on. And I can still feel the ghost hanging on. There's a part of me that's never gone. And sometimes it tries to possess my soul. I just need to learn how to let go. But I want you to know that the ghost is never really gone. No, the ghost is never really gone. I've been climbing, 'cause I've been climbing out of this hole. Been digging for so long. Knows there's something that I don't need, but I can hear the song. Sorry, guys. The ghost is never really gone. No, the ghost is never really gone. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty there.
No, that was punk rock, dude.
Just take that thing out.
Blake Hollowell, thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming
man.
on.
Of course, anytime.
This has been Studio Session Series for Stuck in Rotation and Next Door Radio for June's episode. Next month, we'll have Pet Bug. We'll see you next Thursday. Tune in for Stuck in Rotation. Blake Hollowell, everybody.